The first big gaming series in the Dutch YouTube scene was insane. The year is 2012. At this point, the Dutch YouTube scene was growing. It started with vlogs and sketches, but at this point, gaming started to pop off. Dus David started his own gaming channel, Dus David Games, really pushing it with the creativity here. And he created one of the most popular and influential YouTube series, at least in the Netherlands that is. The Minecraft Roleplay series called The Kingdom. And yes, that's an Acer logo in the bottom left, that was just motion back in the day. To quickly put it in perspective, the channel had around 30,000 subs when the series started and reached 250,000 the following September, making him one of the biggest, if not the biggest Dutch creator at that time. So at the start of the series, it was just a normal survival series. Over time, more people got invited to play with David, as it was just sort of a hangout and record and just play Minecraft type of vibe. At the 28th episode mark, the series got pretty popular and there was an idea to expand it. However, it wouldn't be something like what we would now compare to modern hermitcraft, as David already had a server for that. He wanted to make it so that each part of the world that had a distinct biome had its own community. He compared it to something like Second Life and Game of Thrones. A few guidelines were set in place. The series is central to the server. Some things to everything will be set in play for the series. The storyline, kingdoms and places were already somewhat decided on. You cannot make your own country, you'll have to join a pre-existing idea of a country basically. And the series is actually called The Kingdom. The series name is not in Dutch. Also wanted to mention here that most of the kings of the countries were YouTubers and got invited. But at the time, the biggest Dutch YouTuber, Bardo, was not invited because he was deemed unserious. This kingdom ain't no joke. Honestly, a bit of a shame because he'd make an entertaining dictator, but whatever. Also, I don't know how to say this, but Futuristic Hub was on this server. Also, like, I gotta be honest, if it isn't clear yet, I'm not doing a whole episode per episode, season per season, bar for bar recap or history about the series. This is just kind of looking back at it and having a bit of a discussion about the world building and the civilizations rather than doing deep dives. I don't know, otherwise this video would be 5 hours long with the amount of episodes and perspectives and other stories I have to keep up with. And while all of this doesn't sound very groundbreaking at all, you have to remember this is like 2013 we're talking about. And as far as I know, Minecraft SMPs with a story focus just weren't a thing back then. And this became probably the most popular Dutch YouTube series at the time. Some videos have hundreds of thousands of views, some even managing to get in the millions. Which again, may not seem like a lot, but to put it in perspective, there's about 30 million Dutch speakers all over the world, including in Suriname and even small pockets in North America, Australia and whatnot. Getting to these numbers by just slowly speaking Dutch in videos and as a whole channel was just unheard of. And in general, YouTube in the Netherlands just wasn't that big back then. Like the most subscribed Dutch YouTuber without speaking English and Trap City, that's like about 3 million subscribers, which doesn't seem like a lot, but the average age in the Netherlands is like 42 years, and I really doubt that most of the Dutch-speaking population is sitting on the edge of their seats to watch a 30-year-old vlog his entire day. I'd put some heavy money on possibly every kingdom video ever having at least one comment saying, "Can I join the kingdom?" It was just that much of the shit. Because this was invite only. You either had to put yourself out in the YouTube comments or win an invite via giveaways. And as well, if you didn't want to bother with trying to sell yourself for an invite, you can also join alternative servers. And these varied from paywall versions made by the same people as the original server to likely cash grabs. Probably the most memorable thing that happened on one of these servers is that someone that got their start of making a fake series got arrested at Area 51. And a lot of past and present YouTube channels got their start in the kingdom, either official ones or knockoff ones. Interestingly as well, back in the day, most of these YouTube channels that were a part of this series had guest star videos, where small or unknown YouTube creators would send in a video for approval on their biggest channel and possibly making them a part of that channel or just promoting their content. YouTube channels that did this were more of a hub than focused on one creator. And that's how a lot of the older generation of Dutch YouTubers kinda got their start on this platform. Also, I'm not sure if this was a Dutch only thing, but I really can't remember this being a thing on English speaking channels. The series is seemingly fondly remembered on watching back a lot of the episodes and live streams, and there are a good amount of comments saying that this was their childhood and whatnot. And let it be known, this includes me. I don't care what anyone says, man, this is heat. And let me show you a cool connection here. NL Game Reviews, Unicorn Joost, Joost Klein on Eurovision. And in this house, Joost won Eurovision that year. But is the acting even good? Nah, not really. Starting off in the series, the acting was bad. But present day is not horrible, honestly. Just sometimes kinda hard to listen to with the amount of yelling and anime grunting and whatnot. They sometimes do cook though.
We gaan heel Entropia gaan we kapot maken, zodat jullie hier nooit meer terug kunnen komen. Waarom zou je dat doen? Alles kapot. Dan had je maar niet moeten f***en met je naven en Empire. Maar, kun je het niet gewoon vergeten? Nee. Jullie gaan er helemaal aan en als je hier nu niet weggaat, dan vermoorden we je troepen hier nog ook.
Ja, maar waar moet ik heen dan?
Zoek jezelf maar uit, wat zou mij dat uitmaken?
And I really do wonder how they planned the roleplay and story out. Like at the start of the series, did they just kind of have loose ideas of what eventually the story would be? Or would they just kind of go with the flow and create a story around conflicts that started naturally rather than have a war because the story said so? But most fights just end up looking like a bar fight or Where's Waldo. But honestly, in my experience it was still fun to play. Because I'm a veteran, I played on the worst alternative servers ever. Don't really have much more to say about this. It's obvious that they find acting something worth doing and get a lot of enjoyment and value out of it. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and say, oh well, this character actually doesn't sound believable at all. I'm not a fucking movie critic. I do remember that eventually the lore got deep enough to where people actually bought and changed their Minecraft's account name to reflect their roleplay character. Names like Dracilius. Like, I don't know man, this just kinda sounds like some sort of Andrew Tate stereotype. However, I do need to address the elephant in the room. I think it's for the better if I kept it to the brief and on the light side. I'm coming more from an angle of a casual viewer rather than someone who has full knowledge of the topic. What has happened is horrible and I don't want to spend any time ruining my vibe or others. There's a lot I can say about this and I don't want this to become a 10-minute ramble on this person and on this situation. I want to clarify as well that the current leadership of the Kingdom server doesn't have anything to do with this and aren't affiliated with the original server anymore. Basically, one of the co-owners of the server which hosted the Kingdom, he was exposed for being a PDF, allegedly. There were a lot of complaints over the years that this person did do weird things and was a PDF, allegedly. And David, of course, as a very responsible adult, didn't take any of this seriously. Doing something like this is just weird and like, how are you gonna have someone on your staff have allegations and then not take it seriously, not even looking into it? And these guys were good friends as well. That is something his wife said. Again, I would seriously recommend watching the video which actually delved into this. Unfortunately, the publishers of the videos do like to claim other videos that use their footage, so I'm not able to show you any clips. I also want to clarify that David was never alleged to be a PDF or similar. It was just solely this co-owner. Going back to a lighter topic, what I've only really mentioned so far, except the unique behavior, was maybe between 2012 and I want to say 2023. In the present, the Kingdom is still running, just under another direction, as well as the lore reason for none of the previous people being on the map is that there was a huge natural disaster and only they survived, which I just found really funny. So this could possibly be the longest running Minecraft civilization experiment, with some asterisks, because I don't actually know how much of this is staged or actually all natural and self-developed, if that makes sense. Also, 100% I'm looking from outsider inwards. I only really played this game mode like 10 years ago at this point, so I really don't know how it is now. It's obvious that these guys are just having a lot of fun. You can see it when they talk about the series. It's something they put a lot of time in and get a lot of enjoyment out of. Gotta say, I wanted to check out the server for myself, but ain't no way I'm paying 15 euros for just access, nor am I gonna myself out for an invite. I love these civilization experiments. There's just something about feeling like an actual citizen in a civ game and being able to interact with the world around you. Watching old videos back that I used to watch really brought me nostalgia. Even though what has unfortunately happened, to put it lightly, I still remember this fondly. I really hope I didn't come over as too negative. I do actually like what these servers were and still are. It's something I still fondly remember. And all of my critiques are obviously not meant to stop someone's enjoyment of the format. It's just gripes I had and have with it. It's not that deep really. It's quite a shame that all of the fake or fan Kingdom servers aren't a thing anymore as far as I know. I think it could make a comeback, especially with the current scene of Minecraft content, where a lot of the big videos are kind of similar to this concept, but I doubt it would succeed if it was just completely the same like it was in 2014, 2015. Not to say that it's dead now, but it definitely is less popular. Honestly, I'm very interested to hear if anyone of you watched, played or experienced this as well. Please feel free to leave a comment of whatever you remember. I'd love to hear it. Sorry I didn't really go more in depth of the storyline or who or wasn't involved. Not gonna lie, it would be hell trying to figure it all out, and I'd much rather Anyways, if I ever feel like eating then I'll make a video about it. But until then, I'd rather work on other things.